What's up, everybody? Going along the survival and preparedness thing, just kind of covering the basics. Last time we gave like a short overview. Then we talked a little bit about keeping the body warm. We talked about like what I keep in my fire kit. Today, let's talk food and prep. Two big things. If you can't eat, you can't perform, you can't exert yourself. Calories in, calories out kind of thing, especially in a survival situation. Once you start getting really behind that caloric power curve, then you stop thinking clearly, you stop thinking abruptly. Sorry. Wife got a new shade of lipstick and apparently it's still there. So, again, I have everything marked in a VanQuest bag. I do have a little green tab up on top of it so that I know it's food, keep myself moving. It doesn't necessarily have to be a VanQuest bag. I mean, Condor makes decent bags. It doesn't have to be like high speed gear or like London Bridge Co. If it's going to be a sack or a pod inside of a better pack, a lot of these I keep inside my Everly stock bags, or even like I have another big VanQuest bag that I've used a lot. Again, they're just sandwich bags. They open up nice and easy. There's a little bit of a easy way of seeing what's in there. For me, coffee is life, and my wife got me this really cool little silicone cup. And they actually make little silicone cup filters. I think these are like number 4s. So I have a metric crap ton of filters in here because I actually do have coffee in here. I have 2 of these little packs. These are like pre-mixed Gatorade stuff. I keep them inside of a Ziploc bag because stuff like this tends to break open. When it breaks open, it gets all over everything. And then everything gets really friggin' sticky. I keep a pair of quick energy bars in here. These are just peanut butter Cliff bars. I like those. They have a decent shelf life, and there's just a lot of reasons to like them. Inside this pouch, I have a coffee singlet. I have several of those. Basically, they're coffee tea bags. They're friggin' great. You're going to be out at night as well as during the day. Sometimes I like to get something hot into me, which sounds way more homosexual than it's supposed to, but draw your own conclusions. I like to get something hot in me at night before bed to keep me warm or keep my like mental acuity, or even just for the sake of morale. So I do keep sugar, but I also keep actual tea bags. And again, I keep them inside of a Ziploc bag, and apparently this one tried to escape at some point, further demonstrating the need for a good Ziploc bag. I love that stuff specifically because of it's just simple. I keep a couple of different kinds of tea in there. I keep like Earl Grey, some green, mostly non-caffeinated teas. Again, they're for nighttime. I probably don't want to stay up all night long. Or if my wife is trying out new lipstick, maybe I do. Hey, it's not all survival situations are the same. But that's like drink stuff on that side. Over here, I keep food. I'm a huge fan of oatmeal. It's thick, it's filling, lots of decent energy, lots of decent carbs, and I just like oatmeal. Maybe it's like the long hair hippie in me coming out. I don't know. I keep a couple of like cheap plastic forks in there. They come with like stupid meals that you might get. I keep them in there for a couple of reasons. One, maybe I've got somebody with me and they don't have their own utensils. I don't want them feeding off mine for a lot of different reasons. Or I can't find mine, or I use mine for something else, or I didn't clean it really good. And I find my normal utensils a little questionable as far as sanitation goes. I have these sitting in there and I can just keep going. Another thing that I do keep in here is Idaho mashed potatoes. 1 full bottle of water boiled is enough to make that whole thing. Not a whole lot of calories in these. I think it's 400 calories for the whole pouch. It says it serves 4. It doesn't, especially when you're running really hard. Another thing that I usually keep in here, but I ate the last time, which is one of the reasons it was convenient for me to do this, is I have to replace them, is thin tuna packs. I keep those in this. Usually I keep like 3 to 4 of them in here. They usually have like a 2-year shelf life if you're not like getting them way high in temperature or way cold in temperature, keeping them kind of temperature stable. I tend to like tuna, especially in those pouches. They're about this size when they're in the pouches. Starkist makes them. They have like a lemon pepper and a sriracha for you guys that aren't a bitch like me. I don't do hot stuff. But I do like the lemon pepper or the smoked salmon. Another thing I'll get, and it's also from, it might be Bumblebee. It's salmon in olive oil with dried tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes. And again, it's just a small pouch. They're really, really yummy. Again, I'm a big sushi kind of eater guy. All of this stuff, with the exception maybe of the tuna, all of this stuff is great on its own. But a lot of this stuff does require water and heat, like the oatmeal or the potatoes, or by God, the coffee, because I'm not a real fan of cold coffee. However, I have started drinking those Black Rifle espressos. Damn you, coffee cat. Anyway, for the heating purposes, I do keep this with me. Sometimes, especially in a survival situation, a fire is not always a good thing to have. A fire can draw too much attention to you. It might be a very windy environment. Hey, buddy. And there's always a dog involved. It might be a windy environment, and building a fire is completely irresponsible, unsafe to you and your surroundings, especially if you're trying to catch some shut-eye. But the need to put some warm food sustenance inside you is still there, so you need to heat it up. This is a Gsi Canteen Cup. It does have like a little sippy thing on there, so you can make soup, carry it with you, sip on it nice and easy. It does have this silicone cover for it, so you can pop that off there, put it on a fire. You can see it's been discolored more than a couple times because I will cook this, like I'll lay it next to a fire fairly regularly. But inside, I keep an Optimus Crux, which is just a small single burner. Little stove, little legs fold out, yada yada, ala. That sits up on top of there. And what does it sit on, you ask? Fuel. Uh-oh, one of the dogs jumped up on the sink. So, peel this black cap off, screw this down, unfold my little valve, turn it on, and then this, when you thread it on, it doesn't fall. This is a little spark igniter. You can see that there, if I can hold still, but it's essentially a piezo igniter, and it allows me to heat this up, it allows me to utilize this to heat water, heat some food. Sometimes I got a can of soup in my pack. I'm a big fan of chicken and dumplings. But that's kind of my food kit. This is my I need to eat something for the next couple of days kit. Between the potatoes and the oatmeal and the tuna that's usually in there, I can usually survive for 2 to 3 days on that with a fairly hectic physical exertion, provided I can augment it with something else. Squirrels, birds, fish. The tuna goes a long way. The oatmeal goes an extremely long way. The coffee, again, usually I have more than one in there. Those go a long way in getting you through, especially if you're just hiking to a different location that may have more of your supplies. We'll talk about hiking and stuff like that. I'll probably do a video on water next and filter, like what I have for filters and what I have for purification here a little bit. But what do you want? What do you think you should put in your little food storage kit? Again, this is mostly pre-made stuff that's just quick on the fly. There is more healthy things to eat out there in the wilderness or something like that, but you're not always moving in the wilderness. Sometimes you're moving through a cityscape. Sometimes it's a shithole and you're just trying to stay out of sight, but you're still gonna eat. Sometimes it's like I've gone through long stretches of towns that are empty with the exception of a couple of people that probably shouldn't be there either. So a small kit like this can go a long, long way. What do you have in yours? Tell me about it. Hit me up in the comments. Have fun, stay young, and I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my Saturday. Deuces.